Hello, YouTube world. This is Robbie Williams. And again, welcome back to Rebirth. This topic right here that I'm bringing to the table right now is a little controversial because some people are timid when it comes down to scripture. But I'm going to be dealing with about 5 scriptures from the Bible just to push this health a little bit further, promoting good health. And I'm coming from a couple of scriptures, and I'm going to use those scriptures, but right now I hit them when it's time to hit them, but I'm going to come back to it. But I want you to understand right now, there are so many things that we're wrestling against in this world. We're trying to tackle it on our own, but we cannot. I want you to know that we cannot. Health, and when we talk about health, you got many facets of it. You have your general health. You have what you call physical health. You have mental health. You have social health. You have emotional health. All of those different types of health can be triggered to be brought up to par at a level where it's good health, and can be torn all the way down at a level where it's poor health. Today I'm going to talk to you about another way that things can hurt your health. Now, when we talk about ways that your health can be damaged or harmed without even touching a person, you don't even have to put your hands on somebody and you can damage their health. Did you know that? Well, in this segment of Rebirth, we're going to explore that. The topic today is the phrases that we use that can hinder our success and create poor health. Why did I say the phrases? Phrases are a group of words that are brought together to make a statement. It's not long like a big sentence or a paragraph. Few words, short, sweet, and it can pierce your very psyche if they're grouped together right. And I'm telling you, people, we have been doing this to each other. I mean, even when I wasn't even born, people have been doing this to each other. When are we going to take control of our tongues? When are we going to hold ourselves accountable for what we say to other people and how we say it and what we say? When are we going to do that now? I'm just a man that's bringing the news. And I want to know. We got a comment box. Y'all shoot it to me. I want to know, how can we better deal with our neighbors, friends, children, husbands, wives, co-workers with our words? There have been many studies done by lay members, first-year college students, all the way up to professors and PhD, just scientists, you name it, have been studying this and trying to figure out why words are so powerful. I'm going to tell you the best to my ability what I think, and I put together this video, and I have this information here in which I did my own research. And this is short because I can put together something long, but why do that? It doesn't take all that. I just want you to know why your mouth can be such a powerful tool. Your tongue is like fire and it can hurt people. Moving right along, there have been multitudes of research done on this. And studies have shown that negative words and negative attitudes can affect our well-being. That's right, people. Negative words, negative attitudes can affect our well-being, our health. How is that? When we harbor these negative feeling thoughts in our minds, in our hearts, in our spirit, it has the power to build up a toxic environment within us and around us, which will draw who? Negative people, toxic people, because misery loves company. You set it up, they coming. Just like a barbecue. You fire it up, people from all around going to show up. You ain't got to ask them. They're going to come. Same thing with negative words and attitudes. Bad forces, spirits. This can affect our psyche, our mental train of thought. It can hurt us. In the long run, it can tear us apart. When you say such bad things or declarations, it will disempower you from making right choices, which can lead to the lack of or zero success. It can hurt. It can tear your world apart. Let's talk about some of those phrases that people use. Let's cover those. A lot of time we run into somebody and we just in a group. We're all in a group and we're doing things and somebody make a mistake and somebody call them out on it. And the first thing they'll say, well, ain't nobody perfect. They even go so far to say, none perfect but the Father. Why say that? I know you're making a point to let everybody know that we are imperfect beings and we're going to make mistakes. I get that. But my question is, are we going to use that as a crutch in our society in order to continue to do wrong? Because that's just like signing a paper saying you have a license to go out and do anything you want to do wrong and use that as a crutch and say, guess what? Ain't none perfect but the Father. It wasn't in that book. The way they used it in Scripture wasn't meant to be a crutch. It was meant to let us know that we're just imperfect beings. Okay? Just let us know that we're not going to be at 100 when it comes down to never making a mistake. We can't walk on water. We know that. But my YouTube family, I'm here to let you know that there are alternatives from using these negative phrases or taking something that was meant to be positive and turning it into something negative. We do that a lot. We must stop doing that. Okay, moving on. The next one is you get started in your work day, something happens. Sometimes some people fall into this rut where they'll say, oh, it's going to be a bad day today. Why are you claiming that? You do not have to claim a bad day. That can be like one isolated incident that just happened, but you turns around and say, oh, this is going to be a bad day. Now you done used the power of the words and you done blanketed it out through the whole day. And now your whole day going to be miserable because now your heart is set on it. See, there's a scripture that talks about that. And it lets us know that from the abundance of our hearts, the mouth speaketh. So a lot of time when you're talking things, saying things, you're quick to utter something. Take your time. Think before you speak. Because we go back in Scripture, we'll find that it says, in the beginning was the Word. And the Word was God, and the Word was with God. Remember, it's the Word that became flesh. So when we speak in words, we're speaking something very powerful. Be careful what you say, because these are spirits, and they have power to manifest itself in your life according to what you are saying and what you believe in your heart. Moving on. I'm not good enough. Sometimes we go through life, we try different things. We try different things to try to get better or here or there, and then you come to a conclusion to yourself. You go like, well, you know what? I'm not good enough. I just can't do this. I'm not good enough. Don't say things like that. Find something else to say than I'm not good enough. We all have things that we can do better than others. You got some people talented in one area, some people talented in another area, but that does not mean that the person that is not good enough to do something. You see that, you can see that throughout sports history, where you got Muggsy Bogues, you got Tiny Archibald, some of the smallest men playing against giants in the NBA. Warwick Dunn was told that he couldn't play in the NFL because he was too small. Look what he did, and he won a Super Bowl. Come on. Stop saying what you're not good enough to do, because it's coming out of your mouth. It's going into the elements. And you're speaking it into your life. Stop doing it. When we run into something and we're trying to do something, we just don't make it. We don't make it. We turn around and say, I'm just a failure. Don't say that. I hope my young people are listen to this too, because stop calling yourself a failure just because you cannot do something as well as someone else. My confession is I tried to learn to play the piano. I can't do it. That's what I said. I can't do it. But what it was, I quit. That's what happened. I quit on it. It wasn't that I couldn't do it. It was the fact that I tried, and I just quit. Never quit. Never give up. And never say I'm a failure. I know disappointment in life can make you feel that way, but you don't have to claim it into your spirit, to your inner soul, to your man, into your mind. You don't have to do that. It's negative. It's toxic. Don't do it. Moving on. Mothers and fathers, do not tell your child that they are good for nothing. Stop doing that. Men, stop telling your wife with your abusive tongues that your wife is not good enough. You don't know how much that resonates in her spirit. Sometimes some women can fight back against that, but yet and still, that word, those words, it goes into their spirit, it goes to their mind, it goes into their psyche. It takes control sometimes, and next thing you know, it brings them down. You have messed them up by saying you're not good enough. You do that to your children sometimes. Men and women out here in this world of rebirth, listening to this video, Stop calling your children crazy, dumb, retarded, stupid. Stop using those words. Stop doing it. You're hurting them. They take those words in their hearts. They go to school. They have to deal with those words. They have to deal with those mountains that they got to climb in the classroom when they're dealing with tough subjects. When everybody don't excel in every class the same. But when you send them to the school with stupid, dumb, crazy, retarded in their heart, it hurt their performance. Stop doing it. These are phrases that you say lightly and don't think much of it, but you are hurting the people you love. Stop doing it. Moving on. When they hear all of that coming from, especially from mama and daddy, when they hear all of that, they reach a point where they feel like, and they'll say, some of them will say to themselves, I'm useless. Because you have some parents saying, you're useless, you're good for nothing. Stop using these powerful, negative, toxic words against your own children, your own blood, your flesh and blood. You're using it against the people you love, and you're destroying their lives. Some kids drop out of school because they felt like they couldn't do it, because guess what? Daddy probably said it to them too many times. Mama said it to them, saying stuff to them that, guess what? You have to realize that you need to raise your level of consciousness. Okay? Moving on. When they run into hurdles that are too great for them, sometimes they feel like, I can't do this. We just talked about that a little bit while back, just a few minutes ago. But you run into these hurdles and they say, this is too hard for me. Some of them even say, this is impossible for me to do. I'm telling you right now, there's nothing too hard for God. There's nothing too hard and impossible. Just be mindful of what your talents are. Be mindful of your strengths and weaknesses. This is what we need to teach our children. We need to teach them about strengths and weaknesses. We need to show them. Just because you're not good at one thing doesn't mean you're not good at another. Give them alternatives. You men that have these boys and you want them to be the next quarterback for the NFL, the next NBA draft, #1 draft pick, but they may not have the hand and eye coordination to be able to play the game on that high level. It doesn't mean that they're stupid, dumb, or idiot, or anything like that. Those words should not ever come out your mouth. Doesn't mean that they're not good enough. These are the words that tear our bodies down, our minds, our emotional stability. Breaks it all down. Because we are afraid to do the right thing in the society in which we live in. Moving on. Number 8, I'm not good enough, or I am not as good as she or he. Kids, I say that a lot. And parents, stop telling your kids to be like another child. Stop picking out other children that you think is all that in a bag of chips and saying, you need to be like him or you need to be like her. Stop doing that. You're digging a ditch for them. You're digging a hole for them to throw them into it, and they'll never come out of it. I want y'all to understand something. There are kids out there, young people that have committed suicide because their parents didn't love them enough to say good affirmations, to say the positive things that they need to say. Sometimes it's okay to be a little tough on your children to teach them about life. But what you don't do, you don't tear their spirits down. You don't turn their emotional stability away from them. You do not kill them with words. You do not do that. That's insane. That's insane. Just want y'all to know that. Number 9, the young girls runs into this a lot. They try so hard to stand out at a certain level in school, and they come home, they trying to dress up a little bit. They run into that age where they want to attract the attention of some young boy. This doesn't mean that they're sexual active. We're not going there. I'm just talking about they just want to be liked by someone. And when they don't get that soon enough, the first thing they do, they look in the mirror at themselves sometime and they say, I'm not beautiful. And I'm trying to tell you now, this is where mom comes in at big time and dad comes in. I have a beautiful daughter. Mom comes in, let me show you how to fix yourself up. I don't want you looking too out there. I just want you to look nice. We need to teach them things like beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Okay? That's what we need to teach them. Because the beholder is you. Every time you look into that mirror, who do you see? You see yourself. You need to start saying positive things to yourself. You need to let you know that you're awesome. You need to let you know that you're beautiful. You need to let you know that you're handsome. You need to let you know that you are the greatest. Muhammad Ali is a perfect example. This man talked himself through numerous fights, even when he got and met the giant, a man much bigger than him. The Thriller in Manila. I want to say to you that we must always remember that we must keep positive things before us. I know y'all hear a little noise, but I'm outside. I'm trying to keep my videos as real as possible. The last one is when you moms get mad at your sons just because they just being bad. They're just doing little things that boys do. And y'all got to take it to another level because maybe you and the man ain't together no more. Or maybe y'all ain't getting along too well. Y'all turns around and say you're just like your no good father. You're just like your so-and-so daddy. Why y'all do that? These young boys has enough to deal with. Men turns around and they do it to their daughters. Your tongue, you gotta tame it. Now I'm finna touch on the scriptures. As I did my research, I only wanted to grab a couple of scriptures that can really highlight what I'm talking about. Okay? So you can go and look in any Bible, in any version, King James, NIV, New World Translation, you name it. It's going to pretty much say the same thing. The first scripture I came up with, Proverbs, the 11th chapter, 9th verse. It says, evil words destroys one's friend. Wise discernment rescues the godly. Evil words destroys one's friend. Destroys. You hear the word? Destroys? That's what it does. That's what evil word does. Destroys your friend. But wise discernment. This can rescue the godly. Number 2, Proverbs 12:6. The tongue has the power of life and death. A lot of people know this scripture. There's life and death in the power of the tongue. I just said another way. And it says, and those who love it will eat of its fruits. Y'all got to be careful. This is just real talk about what we say to people and what we say within ourselves, what we say to ourselves, how we bring ourselves down. This is phrases that we use that can hinder our success in life. These are these phrases that I'm talking about. Another scripture, Matthew 15, chapter 18, verse. But the things that come out of a person's mouth comes from the heart, and they defiles this man or woman or child. See, when you say stuff, it don't only hurt the people you're saying it to, it can hurt you. No matter how you direct negative thoughts and words and phrases, no matter how you direct it at, no matter who you direct it towards, you have to deal with it too, because they're spirits. Ephesians 4th chapter, 29th verse. Let no corrupt communications proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. Let no corrupt communication come out of your mouth. These are just teaching tools I'm throwing at you. And not only that, these are scriptural. These are biblical. And I'm just telling you, take it how you want to take it. But if you build on your life with positive affirmations and positive thoughts and positive words, you can go further in life than the man that used negative things, negative thoughts, negative words, toxic atmospheres. Sometimes you have to come out of that stuff. Sometimes you have to walk away from people that are negative and toxic. You have to do it. You have to walk away. Separate yourself. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. That's just what it all means. Take it how you want to take it. I'm just giving it to you. This is the one I love the most. This is the most powerful one that I think, out of the 5 that I picked. James, 3rd chapter, 6th to the 8th verse. It says, and the tongue is a fire, a whirl of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, talking about the whole body, that it defiles the whole body and set on fire the course of nature. And it also says, and it is set on fire of hell. For every kind of beast in the world these things can be tamed. In other words, the beast. But he said, but the tongue can no man tame. It is an unruly evil full of deadly poison. What do y'all want? Now, this is my way of motivating you to start speaking better to your friends, your family, your loved ones, your children. Some of y'all yell at babies and say nasty stuff. When we gonna stop? When we gonna start doing better? Just like one of my other videos, I talked about monitoring your health. A lot of us need to monitor our words, our mouth, our conversation. We need to monitor the things that we're saying. We need to think about what we're going to say sometime before we say it. I'm just bringing it to you the only way I know how. Some of us, honestly, who knows? We may need counseling. Think about it. If you that abusive verbally to people that you love, but then when you go out in the public around other people, you ain't got but loving and kind words for them, check yourself. Something ain't right. I'm just saying. You know. But you know what? I wish you all the best. I pray that y'all take this video to heart. I pray that y'all take what I said in a way that it is not coming at you to stir you up in the wrong way, but to touch you, to help you to grow. This is edification for the soul. This is Robbie Williams coming to you from Rebirth. And I thank all of my viewers, my listeners. I thank all of my subscribers, family and friends, those that do not think it's robbery to take a look at a video of mine and go like, let me click on this thing and give them a thumbs up. You can do that. And most of all, y'all be good out there. Let's treat each other right. Let's make this thing happen. We're living in a new era right now. I'm out of here.